What it is? It's your girl Black Bub, back with another video on this nice Saturday morning, baby. Happy Saturday from the DMV area. It is January 22nd, 19 degrees outside. I'm over here sipping on some nice chai tea latte. You know how I do with the chai tea latte. So let's get into the news. I want to start off by saying rest in peace to Ian Alexander. Ian Alexander is the son of Regina King. Regina King is a very well-known actress in Hollywood, and it's been reported that Ian committed suicide, and there hasn't been any reports on how he did it, but unfortunately, he took his life. And my heart goes out to Regina because I know the pain of having to bury someone so close to you, because the memories never go away, the pain never goes away, and there's nothing in this world that can ever fulfill that type of connection, you know. And my heart also goes out to Ian because I know exactly how it feels to battle with suicidal thoughts and wanting to take your own life. And I just want to play a few clips of Regina speaking on her son and Ian doing the same, and we'll be back after this.
My son when I was 25. I get emotional because my son is an amazing young man. You know, I did something right in life with him. You know, he's just a wonderful... I drove him off to school. We got these matching tattoos.
Ian, the fact that I get to share this night with you, the best date in the house. Oh, man. You make being a mother my greatest accomplishment. I love you.
If I had not become a mother, I wouldn't be able to say this. I would not change anything I've ever performed in as an actor. So, thank you, Ian.
What was she like for you as mom growing up?
Man, as mom, usually people will ask me, like, what's it like having Regina King be your
She seems
mother?
like she's always in a good mood.
Yeah, she's just a super mom, really. Like, she doesn't really let, bad work days or anything come back and ruin the time that we have. So it's really awesome to have a mother that can also love to enjoy. Oh my gosh. I can enjoy spending time with
Yes.
and all that. So,
Well, she's done a fine job, you can tell. Good job, you guys. It's great to see you. I like this closeness. Excellent. Congratulations on all these nominations. We'll see you up there accepting, I'm sure. All right? Thanks, guys.
The Times Up. You see that, Juliana?
Got to. Time's up. Yeah, so just for women having equality and safety in the workplace, and then all individuals. So that's really important to me, especially having a powerful woman that they rule the world.
And I also want to shine a light on Kevin Gates. Shout out to Kevin Gates. He recently came out and spoke about his own thoughts of taking his own life. Recently, he did an interview on the Big Facts podcast, and he said that a fan stopped him from taking his own life. So we're going to play this audio.
I was at the gym. Once we got back to California, I was telling Issa, I'm like, I love you, baby. I do. I made up for every birthday. That was the last post I made. Then I had disconnected my Instagram of my last tweet I made. That's crazy I'm even speaking about this. I don't even know why. God must have put it on my heart. So then after that I went to the gym and I worked out good and I put all my jewelry on. I don't even wear jewelry. I just do that for mine. He like jewelry. I don't even care for that. Yeah. But I put all my jewelry on. I had a raw letter that I wrote about everything, I was just saying I don't regret nobody I ever stepped on.
Yeah.
If I did it to you, your mama ain't raised you right. That just was, I just wrote everything. I wrote about how, how I've been in love before, how them had my heart broke, how the first woman to ever break my heart was my mother. I wrote about that, the only woman that ever loved me was my grandmother. I wrote everything down. So So then after I did that, I had to roll up. I went in the gym, worked out, took a shower, put all my jewelry on. I said, yeah. I looked at myself in the mirror. I said, hey, D. I be saying dick like, cause my grandfather called me that. That's my like my nickname. So when you hear people say dick, but anyway, long story short, I looked in the mirror. I say dick. Hey, it's time to stand on that business. Ain't no more talking. So I was like, yeah, let's go get it done. Show you how God work through people. I'm walking out the gym. White boy walked up on me. You know, kind of big. I see him in there like. He said, can I approach you? You know when you about to do something gangster, but you be trying to be calm and smiling? You know, that's me. Like, I kind of laugh through my pain and joke when I'm hurting, when I'm dying on the inside. So dude walked up on me. He like, man, your music the only thing make this crazy world make sense. I was like, man, the world's a cruel place, man. Trust me, I know. I'm laughing, but I know what I'm about to go do.
Yeah.
So he was like, man, I was worried about you because you had disconnected your Instagram and your Twitter. Like the world needs you because, man, it's like your music done kept me from committing suicide so many times. I say, listen, I swear to God, right now, I'm about to go push my shit out. Right now. I say, you the only one I'm telling. Man, you know what that dude did? He cried and he grabbed me. He say, if you do that, so many people gonna take their own life because you all we got. That's what he told me.
That's wild.
He said, your music is the only thing that make this crazy world make sense. He cried. And you know what I told him? To show you how God worked through people because God know I don't bluff.
Honestly, I don't have the answer to the world's problems. But one thing I find interesting about us as people is that when you open up about certain problems that you face, it makes people feel closer to you, and there's something healing about it as well, because it takes a lot of courage to show vulnerability than it does to be fake strong, especially when you're a man. So I gotta give Kevin props for talking about this, because for a how time I've been fighting with myself to talk about depression and, you know, how I see the world with new eyes as a Black woman in America. And it should be easier for me to talk about this, but it's not. Imagine what it is for a man. And for me, I'm fighting with it because I don't want nobody feeling sorry for me, because it's a lot to unpack, and I don't want haters to get a kick out of seeing me down or whatever the case may be. But sometimes it's just what's called for. And there have been times where I have took 8 to 9 pills over what I was supposed to take, hoping that I don't wake up. There have been times where I'm just like, F it, just close your eyes and just walk into the traffic, you know. It'll be over quick, because you don't know how else to get out of this pain. You don't know how else to make sense of this existence when God takes people so close from you, especially when it comes to your parents, especially when you actually knew them and you have like vivid memories and you don't have much to show for it, and because of that, you just don't feel safe opening up about certain things unless it's like your boiling point. You know, for me, I feel like I suffer with abandonment issues because of that. And even when it comes to problem solving things, what I like to do is let things build up and I explode at the end. And it's like, I've already made my decision to never with people again. And it's like, that's not how you solve problems in relationships. You have to vocalize them, because I haven't felt safe opening up about certain things. I didn't feel like I had a voice, because when God takes your parents, it's like you kind of become like, because I was the friend that people took in house to house, and it's like, you know, you're grateful for people taking you in, but at the same time, it's always an undertone of you knowing that you're not one of them. And I know we're in a time where we're calling out certain family members for causing certain traumas, and anyone else that has anything to do with their trauma, and putting ourselves first. And being selfish, but sometimes you do have to fall out with people so that you guys can come back closer. And sometimes you could be so selfish with putting yourself first that you isolate yourself. And you probably have very, very valid points of why you stop fucking with people. But just because you see how you were hurt, that doesn't mean that you can't reflect on how that has shaped you as a person. Because once you get hurt, you want to get into protection mode. You want to block people out. You want to really protect yourself. And sometimes you can protect yourself to a point that you don't even let in nobody. And I can only speak from my experience and how I feel like I'm observing how it's affected me as a person, because I'm still fucked up and I don't know the answer, and all I can do is pull from what I feel like the deep-rooted issues that I felt like I've been battling with myself with. And when I did isolate myself from people because I'm so narrow-minded on how I see fit, and if no one else is on that same time, then I don't want to deal with you. When I was going through those isolating periods like that, it did bring me a lot of the spiritual growth and a lot of self-knowledge, but it made me socially awkward. Coming around to my self-reflection today, it made me see the true power of forgiveness. And I know sometimes there's just certain things that you can never come back from with people, but forgiveness made me realize how pride stopped me from being a part of great moments in people's lives that were there for me when no one else was. And because I'm not where I want to be at in life yet, that pride made me feel like people didn't need to see me because I didn't have anything to show for it. And I'm sure we all know the saying of what's in your cup is for you, and you can't pour from an empty cup. And what I've realized is pride will have you thinking certain things about yourself, but in reality, some people don't want what's in your cup. They just want you to be around. But that doesn't mean that they still don't want that energy reciprocated in the best way you can, that loving energy, that thoughtful energy, that resourceful energy. And I definitely have to admit that I am flawed when it comes to that regard, and even loyalty because of my abandonment issues, because there's a time to be happy for yourself from walking away from toxic situations, but then you have to realize when you are the common denominator in certain relationships that don't last, and not blame yourself and beat yourself up, but to understand why you can't keep healthy relationships, because everything really does start at home. And when things are taken from you, like your parents, at such a young age, and you're left out here to fend for yourself, and when you do find a place where you could possibly get attached, and then you realize that it's not really yours, it can really shape your mind to be stuck on survival mode and not really process feelings because you've had to survive. And because of that, you don't even want to process your feelings because it's too much. And eventually everyone needs an outlet or just somebody to talk to, because when you suppress your pain, you suppress your happiness as well. And pain can be something that people may misunderstand because you really need to let it out and you don't want to look weak. But I'm trying my best to see it as a catalyst nowadays, because it's literally something that arises in you so that you can pay attention to it without judging yourself, because most people don't have anyone to talk to. And a lot of the times, it's not really about you having the answer. Some people just want you to feel their pain with them. And when people feel their pain without you trying to label or judge or treat them because it may scare you. People will detach from death because people see death as a relief, hence to why people want to take their own lives, because death feels their pain. And that's the only way you know that you haven't tapped into ending your pain. And this is why you have to experience the raw pain of reality. And I know it's easier said than done. And a lot of the times we as people, we go through our life unconscious, but there comes a time in life where you meet that fork in the road and you hit rock bottom, and you either will yourself or you wake up and embrace your pain. And sometimes you just want to end everything. And it just really hurts to know how much suffering that there is in this world that I can't do much about but post about. And sometimes we do forget, and sometimes we think we're the only ones who feel lost in life and feel sad and feel doubt. And there's a lot of qualities that are normal, that are ubiquitous, but everyone's trying to give you this appearance of happiness. And it's easy to assume that people posting money, cars, and relationships and traveling pics, that's the reason you're depressed. But I bet when you ask these people that you're looking at their life from your phone, I bet you that they'll admit that it's anticlimactic. And from time to time, I do get really, really depressed and just start questioning my existence. And it's nothing wrong with that, because it could be worse. I could be in a crazy house, strapped up to a jacket, but it's not like I've never dealt with pain or been broke or left. But sometimes I look back at where I'm at and I compare it to how I am now. And it may not be a lot on a physical level, but I feel like a new person spiritually and emotionally. Because there are people out there who live in ongoing suffering and they just can't escape it. And you just want their pain to end, and it just can't, because there's people who live in certain monarchies and they can't escape it because it's a horrible existence. And when you really open your eyes to other people's lives, looking through the world through their eyes, we forget that there's a world inside of them. That world is very much alive as well. And one thing that's been helping me with coping with my depression is being aware, taking note of the present moment, because a lot of the times we get caught up in our future, thinking about the future, thinking about the past that we can't change, the future that hasn't came yet. And it's like in the present moment, you're doing what you can and you've done and you've planned for the future. And it's like you don't deserve to beat yourself up and overthink and inflict anxiety on yourself, because you can't change what already has happened and you can't go to the future yet. And taking note of the present moment is a great way to ground yourself and bring yourself back into your body so that you can detach from overthinking and what's in your head and really get in touch with how you feel in this very present moment, and take note of the fact that you're not in pain. You have somewhere to go, and if you wanted to, you could call someone, but everyone doesn't have that. So, just taking note of the things that you can be grateful for and just being in the present moment helps a lot. And embracing that pain and going towards that pain to feel it for what it is instead of suppressing it. And yeah, that's all I really had to say about this, because the things I really want to talk about on an emotional level, I really fight with myself a lot, because it's like, this is still new to me and I'm still trying to remind myself. I fight with reminding myself, like letting myself know, like, look, you're safe. It's safe. You can talk about this. You're not a burden. nobody feels, it's not, you're not even feeling, it's not about somebody feeling sorry for you. You're helping by letting people know that they're not alone, and you're not, and there's nothing wrong with wanting attention, because you do deserve it in certain ways, you know? That's why you need that pat on the back sometimes. You know, sometimes you need someone to remind you you're doing good. And yeah, that's all I had to say about that. You know, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at It's Black Pop. Soda Talks TV, my backup page. We'll get into this next video. And I'm out. Good night.